ಡಿಸ್ಕೋ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಅಟ್ಯಾಚ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅಲ್ಲ ಪಿ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಇರ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡ ಬ್ಯಾಟಿ ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಡಪ್ಪ ಇಲ್ಲದ ಅದ ಮತ್ತೆ
has arrived at the campus. Request to all the faculties and students to switch off their mobiles. Kindly switch off your mobiles or keep it in silent mode. Thank you.
ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ ಕನ್ಸಿಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ATS ಅದೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಪ್ರಾಮ ಅಪ್ಡೇಟ್ 6-7 ಸಾವಿರ ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಬರ್ತದೆ ಅಣ್ಣಾರೇ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅದೇ ಅಣ್ಣಾರ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅವರು ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಾಫರ್ ಅದಾರ ಅಣ್ಣಾರ ಹೆಸರು ಅಣ್ಣಾರ್ದು ಗೊತ್ತು ಸಣ್ಣ ಸಣ್ಣ
Good morning, everybody. On behalf of DNACET, I would like to welcome you all to IEEE INNOVA 2024. We are very privileged to have with us today's chief guest, Mr. Sim V. Meng, Senior Vice President, Singapore Rail Test Center, Singapore. Our President, Sir, Dr. Henry Patil, is held up slightly due to some urgent issues. So we would be beginning the keynote addresses. I request Mr. Sim V. Meng to present his keynote address. Please, sir. I would like to request Dr. Danishwari Nula Madam to welcome and introduce Mr. Sim V. Meng to the audience. Please, madam.
Good morning, esteemed guests. I'm very honored to introduce our esteemed guest to you all. Sim V. Meng sir. Sim V. Meng sir has more than 30 years of railway experience and has been working with Mass Land Transport Authority since 1983. In 1996, he became the project manager responsible for all the electrical and mechanical works for the Bukit Panjan LRT project, and in 1998, he was promoted as project director. The project was completed in 1999. In 2000, Sir assumed the post of senior project manager on the Northeast Line project, the world's first fully automated steel wheel on steel rail heavy mass transit system. He managed 16 major E&M contracts with a total value of approximately $1 billion. In early 2004, he was appointed as Director E&M for the Circle Line project and responsible for overseeing all the electrical and mechanical works, which were total of a value of $1.8 billion. In 2007, Sir was appointed as Group Director for Rail, overseeing the implementation of all the railway projects in Singapore. The total cost for all the projects under his charge was around $21 billion. In 2013, he was appointed as Senior Group Director, Rail, and overseeing a budget of around $18 billion for construction of new railway projects as well as assets replacement projects for the existing ones. In 2013, he was currently appointed as the post of Managing Director of MSI Global Pte. Limited, a wholly owned subsidiary of IEEE, and which he ran transport projects and implementation of automatic fare collection systems in metro and bus system. These projects were carried out successfully in China, Turkey, India, Ireland, Thailand, and Philippines, and others. In 2021, he retired from IEEE and was appointed a full-time managing director of MSI. In 2023, he was redesignated as Chief Executive Officer, and he stepped down as Chief Executive Officer in the early August 2024 and took on the role of Senior Vice President, overseeing the startup of the Singapore Rail Trade Center, which will go into operation by 2030. Completely and wholeheartedly, I welcome you, sir, to this event and to our place of victory, Vijayanagar.
First of all, I think I must say the hospitality that accorded to me since my arrival yesterday was fantastic. I must thank Dr. Viresh and the team. And especially the college, the director which met up with us, and I think I must say humbly, he really made me feel very at home. So thank you very much for inviting me today. So first of all, I also want to thank IEEE. I'm a member of IEEE for the past 5 years. This is to show how old I am actually. That's very clear. Because to achieve a life member, it took you many years. So today, when I broached about this topic to Dr. Viresh, that I will talk about how Singapore approach to developing a sustainable and reliable mass rapid transit network. His first comment was that, can you put in a bit more electrical power items inside your speech? Because some of the students or people who are attending this conference might be expert engineer. But in the mass rapid transit, you look at it, and as you know, India is proliferating this metro in many cities. I visited Mumbai, Bangalore, which I call Proton project, Delhi, Chennai, and everywhere wherever you go, we are talking about building metro. Partly for city that have grown after a certain period of time, metro is a way to go to move people towards mass transit. Otherwise, no route will ever be sufficient for car or buses. Nowhere. I see many cities and all crop up and then just come to the city. And that doesn't affect the economy of the state of the country that is in these diverse cities. Yes. So basically, you look at this Singapore. Singapore is very small compared to where we are even in here in Jayapura. We are only 734 square meters. Our east to west is not more than 40 kilometers. So it's very small. So the two old days in the 60s, 70s, most of the business and government offices are located in the southern part of Singapore. So whoever live out of that area who want to commute there to do your business, to transact, and will get to take either public buses or private taxi. And then the whole road is chaotic. Because the road here by the village at that time where the cars is only two-lane road, one up, one down. So it's imagine the peak where people are rushing down to the CBD area. The show you the next slide. You look at how chaotic the road are. On the right hand side of this slide, you can see buses, mosquito buses, private taxi. There's no regulation of taxi at that time. All kinds of private vehicles. And the bus stop at that time was just a single pole with a plate that displayed all the bus number. And the number can change overnight. So there's a lot of academics and people who need to commute. So the government at that stage decided that in the late 70s, the government said, let us appoint two groups of committee to review the whole transportation in Singapore. So one group is to study how to build a mass rapid transit and complement with buses, complement, not to allow duplication of road. You start to have duplication of road, and that actually doesn't serve the purpose in that all. And another group also say how to prevent into all buses system. All buses means that you can have main feeder, you have connecting buses to hubs. So many ground discussion, even the bill of DD when they are doing the IEEE. And the team, which is all the consultant for various local companies like that, the team that really put up a very strong compelling reason was having a mass rapid transit, complementing the bus, and not a parallel route. But one success of today, due to the pressure from citizens, the government started introducing some parallel route because the cost of taking some older people, somehow they still got the habit of taking buses rather than ever taking a mass rapid transit. So the government started introducing a few direct routes that can be parallel to the mass rapid transit. So for myself, 40 years of working on the mass rapid transit, since 1987 till today. Altogether, I'm involved in 6 MRT and 2 LRT projects. So current total land is about 274 kilometers. And the number of stations are 181 stations. For MRT to be optimum, usually the interstation, one station to another, the distance of 1.2 kilometers. Why is that so? Because maintaining the alignment. Importantly is that when you put a station, it is near to cluster people per day. That these people make use of the station to compete where you go for one station. I was in China about a couple of years back. In China, they are using grow as loss of control sound state. That when there are one station, that's a heavy fuel. So I asked the why is it built here? He says, very long built. I think it's a bit of use of stuff. And this thing must be built and it very carefully. That people should have vested interest in building station. Station must be built with post-coordination with the so-called basic urban planning section. That is very key. Because the state will know where to locate residential area and factories and institutional learning and all these areas would gather as one when you're planning your land group. That is very, very key. So to build MRT is one aspect. But reality these days, everybody talk about sustainable, and the talk about planting trees and campuses, and that's being done everywhere in fact. So whatever that we are doing, we must think of sustainable infrastructure that they build. So Singapore called INNOVA, when we build NS5 So that has to start from the planning stage all the way to design, to building, and building you are able to make sure that assets that you build are also lead in terms of operation and maintenance. That's very important. So for example, if you are to put in certain equipment, energy consumption will also come to our mind. How to make it energy consumption to be more optimal. And the other part that we have been working on quite a lot of our agency was to use renewable energy or solar energy. So when building, we have used both carbon concrete as one of the architect like to add in a lot of unnecessary features all in place. We review and make sure that they are put where it's necessary and is useful. So in a new building these days, many of the offices that we built don't have false ceiling. We have open ceiling and as a result of having open ceiling, the contractor doing all the services will start to make sure that solution they are very neat and every will help you to ensure that it's easily maintainable. So in that aspect, it does help quite a lot in maintenance work. So even when we are building, we have to make sure that all the services also. So that will unnecessarily also a lot of maintenance as a result of our work. Yeah, that is the upcycling. Upcycling means things that you work on before, how to reuse it in some aspect for other purposes. So that has been planning also in the cost of building and network. So now I want to talk about how to build a reliable mass transit system. For building a system of this nature, you need many engineers. You need engineers of various disciplines, whether it's electrical, mechanical, electronics, software, whatever. And for the civil part, you need geotechnical, you need civil engineer of most structures. So this show you who are the people that come together to work as a team to deliver a mass rapid transit project. So if you are electrically trained, there's plenty of work to do within the mass rapid transit project, whether it's power, whether it's train, rolling stock, whether it's communication. Our operation control center, they got a lot of work to do also the OCCC. So there are about 60 different system, railway system that have to come together in local ways and connect out the system to run operation for mass transit. But today I will talk on three of these items. And this is on power supply, on signaling, and on ticketing. So for power supply, whatever that you build in the mass transit system, if the cost of supply is not reliable, basically end of the day, you will not have another system that the computer is better to produce it. So that's very key. So for our design for each of the line, we have two intake substations at 66 kV. You see at the top, there is 66 kV substation, intake from the grid, and below there's another. Then each station itself will have 222 kV substation. And the 22 substation is connected in series from one station to another to form one ring. So from the schematic, this is the upper ring and there's a lower ring. So in the event that if one of the intake substation fail, we still can close the switches at the division of power to make sure that the whole system is not being affected. So that should say that each of the intake can get all nine power requirement. So that enhance the reliability of the whole system. So just to give a view of our system, the grid on the top, the grid then go to the substation. That's connected to kV. For us, to India, that's 23 kV. So for the 52, we will step down. Step in two different areas. The one part is stepping down 22 kV to 400 volt AC. And that is basically to service all the station equipment, whether it's lift, lighting, escalator, ticketing system. The other part aspect, which is very critical, is stepping down to DC voltage. So from the 22 kV, we are set down to 585 AC. And then it is being rectified to two rectifier transformer to rectify to 750 volt DC. So the rectifier we use will be a 24 pulse rectifier, going down to the switchboard and then connected to the third rail. Third rail is the rail that the train will pick up the power from. But in many countries, we use overhead catenary. So in both types also we can work on it. There's no issue. So this basically show you a 22 kV switchgear for distribution, which is used as a gas distributor switchgear, GNS here. And the transformer is for AC, and this is natural air, natural point cooling. So the service transformer in each of the station is approximately between 1.5 to 2 MVA. And in the tunnel or viaduct, we have to continue as I mentioned here, 22 kV cable has to be installed on series. So we have to run the 22 kV in the tunnel below the walkway. The walkway is for maintenance system where we can access the train. And the third is where the train got the power from. So the rail is one of our BCC. So BCC 750 volt will have traction power supply substation. Not every station have traction power supply substation. It's through a power simulation that then where indicate within the whole network where to put the traction and power substation. So for instance, if you talk about maybe a station with a 20 station, at the end we will talk about 12 to 13 traction power substation. And the rest will be just a tie-breaker substation. A tie-breaker is used in case of power failure, you want to feedback to one feed, that's when you close the tie-breaker. So this is quite similar done in many overseas countries. Next, I will just going to really talk about signaling. The train itself just can't move, it's just static. Even if the power is don't move. You need some system to command it to move and to move it safely. So signaling is very key and it's a safety system that have to put in place. So in the good old day when we first started off, we used so-called a fixed block signaling system, where you use speed code. So the track itself is divided into many blocks, and each block got a coding, whether it's 30 kph, 60 kph, or 80 kph. All these are coded on the track itself. So it's slow but it's safe. So the separation between train that it can achieve is about 120 seconds. But he has served many metro for many good years. Up during the late 1990s, where all the OEM, and in this signaling system, the number of OEM in the whole world is about 3 to 4 OEM. And they start moving away from a fixed block, knowing that they can do better than what they have today. So a lot of them going toward moving block system. That means as the train moves, it communicates the next train behind. And the separation between train can be as short as 30 to 40 meters. So, but that need proper control and ensuring that if anything fails, it must fail safe for signaling system. So the moving block technology become an in-thing in the late 1990s, and parts that for the fixed block become very expensive because the OEM all are moving, shifting away. So every part that need due to obsolescence is charging you a lot of money. So most railway got no choice but start moving towards a moving block system. And the moving block, the headway can go to as close as 100 seconds. So that is the current when most of the railway that we implemented right now all use the moving block system. So the moving block can increase carrying capacity and that can achieve a better structural gateway, and this is very key, especially when railway is in operation. Two zone that is very good than them. The morning peak, where everybody is rushing to work, and at evening peak, when everybody is rushing home. So these two peak periods, they really have to pump in a lot of training, so that to cater for the needs of commuters. So the moving block also end up with less human interference, which is resulting in less error and less incident. So in this day, you will ask around, there's no other system than moving block system. The fixed block is basically disappeared. Then the other part is on the OPEX and CAPEX, because the more people play coming to the market and more they develop, the cost can get out quite significantly this day. Have much thing to do other than maybe give an impression of safety within the train to the commuters. GeoA4 based as not intended, but GeoA3 and overall operate those similarly when they are rolling out the projects. So in Singapore context, the first 2 lines was for fixed block, and the rest that we started to build in 2000 all were moving block and GeoA4. So the government was saying that these 2 lines are heavily used. We really have to invest and then do a re-signaling thing. That means change out those signaling to a moving block system. And this is the wrong future. So there are a lot of discussion and put up budget for the government. And in 2020, the government give the approval to proceed with these 2 projects. So do a re-signaling in the brownfield is very challenging. Because whatever work that you carry out, you need to carry out during the off-revenue hour. So that to say from 1 a.m. to 4 a.m. Then you have to switch back to the old system to make sure that there's no interference and the system must operate as normally. So most of the people who work on this job, you can see that they age pretty fast after a few years. So what they have to do, they have to lay a lot of new cable on the track. All the 141 trains, they have to do a lot of rework. Station, 54 stations that house all the interlocking equipment have to create another new room to house the new equipment. And of course, the last part is the operation control center, where you cut everything over to the new control center. Everybody will be very relieved when that happens. And likewise, depot, they also have to do a lot of rework. Because in the case of in Singapore, when we built a GeoA4 system, our depot is also fully automatic. There are many organizations of metro. They can be GeoA4 for the whole system. Sorry. A bit too excited, this one. Except the depot. So for us, the GeoA4 needs to up from depot all the way to the system. So what the operator has to do every day is after the revenue service of the day, they have to plan for the next day. So all the trains that are supposed to go out for operation in the early morning, all are packed nicely in the depot workshop and are all labeled. So the timing of each one to go out are all also stipulated. So by 5:30 a.m., they start waking up all the trains. And the train will do all their thorough check on their health to make sure that they are breaking all right, their communication system is working perfectly, the aircon is working, the lighting also working, and then they send this information back to the OCC and say, I'm train number 1, all the things that you have checked through, I'm all right. Okay. Then this train will mark up as ready for operation when the cars come. So in the morning, we will launch train about every 10 minutes at 5:45, then 5:55, then after by 6:15, then every 5 minutes there will be train launched out. So all these trains must feed back to the OCC that I'm healthy and I'm ready for operation of the day. And likewise, when the timetable says you go out to run the train for 2 hours, after the peak, you will have to go back to the depot. And all this routing back to the depot will be done automatically and going to which of the track that is the station. In the event of running, there are some fault alarm that came out, but does not affect operation. Then they also highlight that you have to go to the right workshop track where the technician will be ready to attend to the fault to get it rectified. So our 084 is throughout from depot all the way to running a train and to all the stations. So this is just to show you more detail of what is installed on the bike. You got transponder, proximity plate to detect train, the cable that I mentioned about, the link cable, signal light, the radio, because nowadays for this communication based and train control, all these are all communication based. And then the one antenna code to make sure that train going through and communicate seamlessly. And in the tunnel, we also install the same equipment, and finding space in the tunnel sometimes will be challenging. Because in the tunnel, you got so-called train capability envelope that cannot be affected by whatever equipment that you install. So we have to be very, very careful when we install this equipment. Likewise, the train, and train with the assisted system, you can't touch it. So we have to then find new places to install new equipment. And that again, we have to do it with very delicate that we are not going to damage any of the existing equipment. So now since the job finished, progressively they are removing out all the old equipment. And likewise for the relay interlocking to computer-based interlocking at all the 54 stations. And the OCC, you look at the left side, the OCC was on LED light to show where are the train location. But this day is all LED panel. And you can see train running up and down seamlessly on the panel itself. And at this stage, everyone who are involved in the job will really feel a sense of relief that it's all over. And it took them about 7 years to finish this brownfield projects. Because doing the testing commissioning is very key to make sure that every test must work according to what you have designed. They must work in a manner that's done safely. Next on ticketing. Why I chose ticketing? Ticketing is where you bring revenue back to your railway. And ticketing must be robust enough that there's no leakage of fare. That's very key. Railway that have leakage of fare, like in the case of where we did a job in Bangkok, their leakages was very high at one stage. And with the introduction of better system, it can cut down substantially, and the revenue by the company had increased. So we went back in 87 when technology at that time available was magnetic card. I don't know whether you also remember this. Insert the card in, cut out from the other side, the turnstile allow you to pass through, or flat gate. But it's a low corrosivity and it don't work as well because sometimes you got a lot of fault and error. Then in 1990, the 3 bus company together, the only train company, decided to come up with an integrated travel card, known as the fare card, with a high corrosivity magnetic card. But again, it can reduce some of the fault error, but not all. So in 2002, the Land Transport Authority decided to come with a contactless smart card, where you may have to insert anything, but it's contactless. You just go close to the reader and it will just read whether your card there's fare in it, enough money for you to take a trip. And in 2006, the government decided that we should have a common, because with all this 2002 to 2009, this one end up there's only single supplier, single acquirer. So there's not much participation from bank or wherever. So the government said that that's not very good. Seems to be controlled by just this 3 companies. So they decided that we should this contactless smart card. So this specification that they came out allowed whoever want to get involved to start design on the card. And in 2009, they launched this contactless smart card. And I must say the amount of fraud compared to a magnetic card, which is 1 in 5,000, have reduced to 1 in 100,000 in terms of fraud. So that works very well, the contactless smart card. Then along the way, bank was making a lot of pressure that why can't credit card be used? So in 2019, we wrote the account-based ticketing system that Master and Visa card. And in the coming month, which are now testing, is the Amex card. So these 3 credit cards can be used for travel. And if you watch YouTube, those Americans who came to Singapore felt that it's very convenient for them to travel without buying any card, but just take out their credit card, tap and go. So this is a way where we think that is the right direction to go to using the account-based ticketing. So the transaction basically is all done at the back end now, not at the front end. So this has been happening now in Singapore context, and progressively many countries are adopting this account-based ticketing. You can see in Dubai, you can see in Doha. So everybody is going towards this direction. So we did a job here in Bangalore, where we successfully integrated existing AFC system to the new MSI ticketing system. Also migrate the card master database, and also integrate the phase 2 with the existing phase 1 AFC office system. And one area that the BMRCL was pushing very hard when we embarked on this job was that, can you come up with a QR code that it can make travel even more convenient for commuters. So with this QR code, their important condition was that you can buy a single ticket or group ticket. So that was rolled out in 2022, and initially when I started off, the number of users was about 15,000. On this day, it's 190,000, and so you can see the number of people using QR code to purchase their tickets. So this is where close to my heart where I'm involved in now this day, the Singapore Rail Test Center. The government spent close to $1 billion to build this Singapore Rail Test Center. It's located on the western part of Singapore, very near to one of the higher institutions of learning, the NTU, not very far away. And this facility is dedicated to test out training prior to them going out for revenue service. And this track, which is away from residential area, this track, and one of them, there are 3 tracks altogether. One is called the high-speed test track, and one of them is called the endurance track, and the third one is integration track. So the endurance track to us is like, if you did train to chalk out the number of kilometers before they go to service, you can run 24/7 without anybody complaining about noise. So that is one area where it will help a lot. I think the next slide you'll see a better. So you can see there are 3 tracks here. The third one is the performance and integration track. Later I'll show you a video which will have a better feel of how the things look like. So importantly is that with these facilities, what we need is to encourage, basically for Singapore use, there's no issue. But we also want to encourage overseas organizations to bring their train there for testing. And also to do system integration if they got different core system that they intend to install for the first time. So each track length is about 3 kilometers. So now I think I can show you a video. thank you, and I hope this just give a brief overview of how we build a mass rapid transit systems. And I really sincerely hope that some of the engineers, when they graduated, there's a lot of opportunity for you to embark on something like that. So with that, I thank you, and I would like to thank you and the institute of the college for inviting me here. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for detailing the most reliable mass network rapid transport of Singapore. Its reliability, ease of use, integration, and wide reach is highly inspiring. Faculty members and students, would you like to have some questions? Sir, can we have some interactions?
Yes, please, no problem.
Yeah. Would anyone that
This is me.
Yes.
So I would like to know more the operations control part of it. So how much of the operations control is really automated and how much is driven by heuristics, human-made heuristics?
Sure, that's a very good question. As I mentioned, the GOA4, the rate of automation, is depend on what the client really want to build on the overall system. If you build GOA4 to have fully automatic from the depot all the way up to launch of train onto the main line, that of course costs higher because the depot is the most difficult part to carry out your testing and commissioning. Why? You got your workshop, you got staging yard, and all these have to make sure that whatever you test was able to reflect back all the way to OCC, and that must be part of your integrated system control. You must be able to work the signaling, and of course the train set that is moving along this area. So like setting of the train and the route all the way in the morning from workshop to the reception track and into the main line. All this is done automatically. So your signaling must be able to know that train number 1 is going out, which way is it setting out to? Because a train come up from the depot will either go this direction or the other direction, east or west, depends on. Because in the morning train will alternate between east-west to provide full service. So all this is part of the signaling system that you have to test out thoroughly. Every track, every workshop to the reception track, and that took a long time. So that's why even some railway work GOA4, they only had GOA4 for the main line running, but the depot still got manually people drive train up to the reception track and then hand over to the GOA4 system. So that depends on how much you are prepared to put in. But to me, if you really want the fully automated, I think GOA4 for depot all the way is the right decision because you do it for once.
Thank you.
any other?
Yeah, I have seen like a lot of automation as well as complex networks are there.
Yes.
Is there any digital twin system existing there? And if it is there, like what level? Like only networking part is there, or maintenance is under district twin?
You mean the network or what?
Yeah.
The network, basically, the conventional network is, in fact, we also make sure there's very reliable network. So there are network that must be able to have redundancy also. And the network is used by the person or the contractor that provide the network have to interface with the signaling, have to interface with its own system, like video surveillance system, your radio system. So the network is able to switch around if there's a failure in one sector, done automatically. And of course, the operation control center can also decide where to switch off or switch to which network. So the network is very key to the operation of a fully automated relay. It must be very reliable, not just the power supply.
Hello, sir.
Yes.
Sir, as you have in Singapore the trail testing center, in India also we have National Rail Transportation Institute, Gati Shakti. Majorly they do research on railway engineering. So do you have any collaborations or relations with our rail institution in India?
I don't think so there's any collaboration now. But since I aware this morning when someone was informing me, I think I will get our academy there to start talking to them and see what can we do together. Because as I read a lot of articles, I think in the coming 10 to 15 years, I think India is going to build many metro, and it's good that there's a good sharing. In fact, the 084 metro, there's a group within the UITP, the International Association of Transport. This group last meeting was held in New Delhi, by the way, and they choose New Delhi because they discuss and think that in the future, the country that going to overtake, because the 084 there's a chart, so how many countries have the system in this 084, 083. They believe India is going to be one of the top countries in the coming 10 to 15 years. I think their study, they probably have carried out very comprehensively, and that is probably the direction that your railway people will probably embark on.
Thank you.
Any question from the back? Please don't feel shy, I can ask anything. If I cannot, I'll get back to you, don't worry.
People can learn from this. This is one. And about the existing systems, again taking to that extent, like automation.
Yes.
The effort, I can talk to you that. Yeah. To the next level, because already existing systems are there, where many of them they are not being integrated in that extent. So, what will be the effort which will be required to bring it to that?
Okay.
Sir, myself, Professor Vishnu Reddy. I just wanted to ask about what are the career opportunities that are available in Singapore for the engineer graduates from India.
I think with your minister here, I shouldn't talking about career opportunity in Singapore. I must say, in Singapore there are many Indians who have been working there in the software field. Even in my organization, there's quite a number of Indian young, I won't say they are young, they have been working there for many years, and they move over to work on software development work, especially on the ticketing systems. A lot of them are involved in the software work. In the railway, there are people involved in the rolling stock, the train, and also in the communication areas. So in Singapore, it's a very open economy that we have attracted many people there. But you have to look out, there's always opportunities. But as I told you, India is going to build many metros. There's a lot of opportunity here in your country. Because as I told them, I visited many of the cities. Many of them are planning to build metro and expanding the existing railway, even about Bangalore itself. So there's a lot of opportunity here. In fact, we come here to find opportunity to work in some of the projects. I mean, in terms of what they want us to share with them, how they can upgrade their system. And that's where we are involved here in some of the projects. So don't worry, your country is got plenty of opportunities. Okay, sorry, there's one question over here.
Sir, what are the power sources used to power the train? Energy sources. Power sources. Energy sources used for powering the.
Operational level. So for example, in the depot, the SRTC itself, we put in solar panel that can generate 200 megawatt hour at any one time. So in fact, that will help us to sell some of the energy that we are not going to use back into the grid. And if you look at in Singapore context, because we have to buy oil for all this, too costly. So many of the household that government is pushing them, and especially those private residential area, to install solar panel, quite a lot, and they give them some incentive also. So there's a way of trying to make sure whether how much can we use without solar energy for our usage in Singapore.
Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Myself, Dr. Gonan.
Yes.
Yes, sir, in this Singapore rate system, how you are going to predict the disturbances in the electric system due to natural calamities like flood, storm and all that? Any disturbance in the system?
Okay, flood. Flood is one thing that we already put into our design many years back. If those who have been to our Singapore Metro, you realize that when you get into the entrance, you walk out 4 steps at least, and then the escalator down. That 4 steps is to create if there is a flood and water rising out. Not just this to us is one level of protection. The next level of protection is a flood barrier. All our entrances are installed with a frame on the side. And the middle part where you can install a frame easily. And we got barrier that you can insert in to create a 1.5 meter height. So the 1.5 meter plus the step itself. If the flood will ever go to that level, the whole Singapore will be disappeared. So we have worked on the worst likely case. And I think that is good enough to overcome this calamity that you just mentioned, especially on flood and the current these days weather change. On the power supply, that one, Singapore Power, we got 4 power stations. We also got a grid that we tie up with Malaysia, our neighbor. So whatever problem, we still can close the switch that Malaysia can feed power to the Singapore island. So there's a lot of backup that we have worked over the years. Is there any more question?
Sir, we will proceed with the questionnaire in the lunch break.
Okay.
So, can you sir?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for detailing the most reliable transport network, rapid transit of Singapore. I would like to share with you certain things. Sir, for his long-standing role, that is of 40 years of experience in the Land Transport Authority in construction and operation of numerous MRT and LRT lines, is often referred as Rail Guru. He is referred as Rail Guru in Singapore. So we are really fortunate to have such an eminent personality among us. Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us. Spark, a vision grows. Through collaboration, the river flows. Together we strive, together we create a better tomorrow, our destiny. So let this movement mark the start of ideas shared and a collective heart. Let the wisdom light the way. Let INNOVA light the way. Good morning, everybody. I am Dr. Anuradha S. Ansari, your host for this event. On the behalf of BLDA CET, it is my great pleasure to welcome you all to the inaugural function of IEEE INNOVA 2024, a flagship event organized by BLDA CET and IEEE Student Branch BLDA CET, technically co-sponsored by IEEE North Karnataka subsection and IEEE Bangalore section. Today, we are gathered here to celebrate innovation, knowledge and collaboration. It's an honor to have such esteemed dignitaries and guests with us. To start the proceedings, may I request our Director and Organizing Chair to kindly escort our dignitaries to the dais. Let us welcome them with a big round of applause. Privileged to have with us Chief Guest for the occasion, Mr. Sim V. Meng, Senior Vice President, Singapore Rail Test Center, Singapore, and Mr. Srinivasan Swaminathan, Senior Director, Samsung Research India, Bangalore. We are equally honored to have with us today's guest of honor, Professor Mahadev Prasanna, Director, IIIT Dharwad, who will be joining us online, and Dr. Y.M. Jairaj, Pro-Chancellor, BLD University. We are also graced by the presence of our chairs, Professor Ravi Basmani, Chair, IEEE KNSS, Dr. T. Srinivas, Chair, IEEE Bangalore Section, and Dr. Prashant Mishra, Chair, IEEE Industry Application Society, Bangalore Chapter. We are very fortunate to have BLD Association President, Dr. M.P. Patil, Industries and Infrastructure Development Minister, Government of Karnataka, who will be presiding over the function. Today's General Co-Chair, Dr. V.G. Sangam, Director BLD Association, and the Organizing Chair, Dr. Videsh Gona, Department of IEEE BLD ACT. We are indeed privileged to have an illustrious group of dignitaries with us today. Let us give all them a big round of applause. Welcome, sir. To innovate the blessings of the Almighty with an innovation warm, I invite Ms. Amruta and team to present the inauguration. For that soulful and melodious invocation. It has truly set a divine and serene tone for today's proceedings. Thank you. Lighting the lamp signifies the dispelling of darkness and the ushering in of knowledge, wisdom, and enlightenment. To mark the auspicious beginning of today's event, I request all the dignitaries on the dais to join for the ceremonial lighting of the lamp. Please, sir. All the participants online can note that this program is being streamed live. So you can join us online. introduce and extend a warm welcome to our chief guest. Ma'am.
Good morning, esteemed guests, distinguished dignitaries on the dais, off the dais, my fellow colleagues, researchers, and participants. It's my great It's my great honor to welcome you to 2024 International Conference on Innovation and Novelty in Engineering and Technology, organized and hosted by IEEE Dr. P.G. Chatterjee College of Engineering and Technology and co-sponsored by IEEE Bangalore section. This gathering marks an exciting opportunity for collaboration, innovation, and sharing of knowledge as we come together from across the nation to explore the latest advancements in technology. The IEEE conference has been a beacon for excellence in engineering and technology, bringing together the brightest minds from academia, industry, research institutions. We are thrilled to have such an exceptional experts and innovators joining us for what promises to be a truly inspiring and thought-provoking event. And among such esteemed guests, we have, I'm very honored to introduce our first esteemed guest to you all. That's Sir Sinvi Mong, Sir. Sinvi Mong, Sir, as I have already introduced you all, but a small surprise thing about him. So Sinvi Mong, Sir, has more than 30 years of railway experience and has been working with Mass Line Transport Authority since 1983. He is presently working as Senior Vice President, overseeing the startup of the Singapore Rail Research Center, which will go into operation by April 2025. Completely and wholeheartedly, I welcome you, sir, to this event. Now, I would like to call upon Dr. Nina Vice Principal Administration of our college to welcome Sir with the sapling as it symbolizes growth towards development. Now, I will take this opportunity to welcome you all with our next esteemed guest, Srinivasan Swaminathan sir. Srinivasan Swaminathan sir, he happens to be Senior Director working with Science Research in India, Bangalore, having over 30 years of experience with a demonstrated history of working in the wireless telecom industry. He is skilled in 5G, LTE, UMTS, CDMA, GSM, GPRS, core and assessment elements. And he is also having a brief tenure in mobile handset solutions, services and commercialization. He has worked as a Senior Director, is responsible for 2G, 4G, 5G, core and software package development for various carriers across the world. He happens to be responsible for system design for LTE, 2G call system. He has expertise building skill developments of 15 review of deliverables. He has handled software development for mobile handsets in the past, like product review and DSP, drivers for Android smartphones, commercialization to US regional carriers, and feature phones for markets across the world. He has a history of bringing in innovative features into handsets. He has handled software development for network elements in the past, like design, development, and technical handling for the IIS, that's IIS platform for utility services, application server. He has even handled with design and development for core network protocols based on 3GPP specifications for 3G and CDMA. With all my heart, I welcome you, sir, to this event and for the way of reviewing. I like to call on Dr. Prakash H. Head of Department Information Science for College and Communication Chair of INNOVA 2024 to welcome Sir with the sapling as it symbolizes the potential for development.
Good morning, all. It's really an immense pleasure to welcome our Judge, Professor Ravi P. Swami, Senior IIT member. He is working as an assistant professor at Keynote Institute of Technology, Public. He has research interests in wireless communication, VLSI, and signal processing. His academic achievements include numerous publications in conference and lectures. He has successfully guided over 25 projects involving academic and industry. As an IT volunteer with over 12 years of experience, he has served in various capacities at both national and international rates. His notable roles include co-chairing the IEEE YESIST 12 Innovation Challenge 2024, a global event, and being a founder member of IEEE in AS, where he currently serves as the chair. At the section level, he has held the role of secretary of IEEE site and is now an ex-com member of Bangalore section. I welcome you, sir, for this IEEE INNOVA 2024 conference held at IIT Jaipur. I request Dr. Anil Kamal sir to welcome our Judge, Professor Ravi P. Swami sir, for this conference. Now, it gives me immense pleasure to welcome our Judge, Dr. Prashant Mishra, Vice Chair, Leadership Engagement. Dr. Prashant Mishra is a senior scientist at Consultancy Services Research, where he works on intelligent hypothetical systems for smart mobility. His current focus is on the development of mathematical models and the application of operation research methods for the management of electric vehicles, fleets, and charging infrastructure. His past research endeavor was in the design of sensor techniques and sensor informatics for energy consumption network embedded systems. He has published over 60 peer-reviewed scientific and position papers in the field of cyber-physical system, Internet of Things, mobile system, and electric mobility. He has been facilitated by numerous honors and awards for his work, of which it is noteworthy to mention the MIT R35 India top 10 innovators under the age of 35 in India for the development of new technology or creative application of existing technologies to solve the process. And the PCS Exemplary Contribution Award for increasing the brand value of PCS in 2017. The DRCIM, Alien Benson and the Marie Curie Fellowship in 2012, and the Australian Government's AIID Australian Leadership Award Scholarship for its potential to make substantial impact on social, economic and development challenges of the Asia-Pacific region at the leadership level in 2008. He is a recipient of the Best Award in the Applied Science and Strategy in India, Courts March 2023, and he has won the Best Poster Paper Award at IEEE since 2016 and EWS in 2013. Dr. Mishra is the chair of IIT Computer Society, Bangalore chapter, Vice Chair in Industry Engagement of IIT Bangalore section, and an executive committee member of Comsnet Association. He is the chair of Technical Subcommittee for IoT, Future Skills Prime, and is a member of NEITY working on IoT-based technologies for smart cities. He has contributed to the standardization initiatives on smart cities and infrastructure for the Bureau of Indian Standards. He has served on the editorial board of IIT Commission as a series editor of Internet of Things from 2019 to 2022, and is currently on the editorial board of Dr. Chandra as area editor and IIT Intelligent Transportation System magazine as associate editor. He is the modern chair of IIEEE chapter, which is the Indian chapter of ASEAN Mobile. His voluntary excellence has been facilitated by the IIT Bangalore section Outstanding Volunteer Award in 2018. Consular Association Outstanding Service Recognition in 2019 and 20. Dr. Prashant Mishra has 30 plus years of professional experience. He has a PhD in Computer Science and Engineering from University of New South Wales, Sydney. He has previously held research position at CSIRO Australia, Stockholm, and IISc Bangalore. Short-term teaching position at NICTA Australia, PIR Mumbai, University Jen and ITS Zurich, and software engineering positions at Identity Data. He is a senior member of IIT and ASEAN. He is a member of IIT Computer Society. I welcome you, sir, for the IEEE INNOVA 2024 conference to be held at the BACC Vijay. I request Dr. A. Shadar, sir, to welcome our guest, Dr. Prashant Mishra, with the something. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. It's our honor to have with us a distinguished individual, Dr. Patil, whose presence today elevates the significance of our gathering. Dr. Patil has been a beacon of knowledge and inspiration, and we are privileged to have him with us. Welcome, sir. I request Dr. P.P. Manji, Vice Principal, Academic and Research, to present a staffing to Mr. Patil for appreciation and respect. Thank you, sir. It's our honor to have Dr. Jayam Jayaraj, Pro-Chancellor, BLA University, as a guest of honor for this event. His guidance has been a motivating force for all of us. Welcome, sir. I request Dr. Pushpa to present a sampling to Dr. Jayam Jayaraj as a token of appreciation and respect. Thank you. I request Professor S.M. Chachan to welcome Dr. V. Sangam, Director, BAACD, whose leadership and dedication inspires us all. Thank you. I request Dr. Umesh Dikshit to welcome Dr. Dinesh Guna, whose invaluable contributions and tireless efforts have been instrumental in making this event possible. Thank you, sir. Now, let us hear about the vision and objectives of INNOVA 2024. I invite Dr. Dinesh Guna to present a brief overview of the event.
Thank you, madam. Good morning, all. Honorable guests, distinguished delegates, and fellow participants. I, Dr. Dinesh Guna, Organizing Chair of IEEE INNOVA 2024. It is my distinct privilege to welcome you to the IEEE International Conference. As we gather here today, we mark the beginning of a remarkable journey, the journey of innovation, discovery, and collaboration. The theme of this conference is innovation and novelty. INNOVA 2024 has brought together visionary experts and minds from around the world. We have received more response by 670 paper submissions with a successful from abroad and more than 30 manuscripts from outside Karnataka. After rigorous review, we have accepted 148 papers. Our conference features 88 registered papers with 35 offline presentations and 53 online presentations. I extend my heartfelt gratitude to our team of 249 reviewers, 20 data reviewers from various prestigious institutions across the country who have worked tirelessly to ensure the quality and integrity of the paper presented at this conference. Their contributions are valuable and we appreciate their dedication to the scientific community. I like to bring to the notice that we have acceptance of 52% of the total submissions. Over the 2 days from today, we will be assessing cutting-edge research presentation, engaging keynote speeches, innovative talks from the experts, and stimulating panel discussions. INNOVA 2020 provides a unique platform for authors to showcase their research, receive feedback, and network peers and experts in the field. As we navigate the complexities of our rapidly changing world, INNOVA has become more crucial than ever. INNOVA 2024 is a call to action, a call to harness our collective creativity, expertise, and passion to create a brighter future. I invite you all actively participate in the conference, engage in discussion, and explore the exciting research on display. Let us come together to celebrate innovation, collaboration, and inspire each other to create a better tomorrow. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Mission INNOVA, like the way for knowledge and innovation. I kindly request Dr. Prashant Mishra to address the gathering and share his insights with us. Please.
Good morning. This is my first time in Bijapur, and I must say I've heard of the college long back. In fact, I've had a lot of alumnus. We closely interact together. I've heard of this for a very long time, but I've never got an opportunity to come here. It's my first time. I thank the entire college management, Dr. Goel, all the teachers to give us the opportunity to come down here. This meeting of 2024. In fact, I took the annual section and college management represented by Dr. Goel. We have been talking about organizing conferences in the year, and one of the things that I realized that seriousness that I had put into a conference. So the time of January began as a conference. I could see the seriousness that and the entire college management had to actually do a very conference here. Because at the end of it, a conference, the key of conference taking the program. And sir seems to make sure that we not a very good program, but we are bringing a lot of very good technical experts to be at Bijapur, so that we as a community can benefit from it, and that was a large goal of not only things but also by large goal of social and technology. And in fact, I must say that IEEE through its mission to use technology for larger good. We are very focused in this part of the fact at a section level. We are a Bangalore section, but that stands as Karnataka. We are more than 7,000 members here. We have more than 100 students branches, more than 400 societies. And the mission of all of us is to make sure that we use technology for social good, right? And this is the part we believe that there are immense potential because I see things bright. They are very good in studies. What they may be requiring is option, and that is I can be a bridge. In fact, we want to talk to the college management to serve how IEEE and these ecosystem which have come together to make things work here. And next 1 year and years on, you see a lot of effort in that regard. In fact, I think over just like my manufacturer in 2026, and I am telling that not is going focus on manufacturing for my first personally. So with that, I congratulate you all for taking the conference. Thank you very much.
Yes, sir. Technology for social good mantra. I request Professor Ravi Mani to address the gathering. Please, sir.
Subhanallah. Ina. Good morning, Secretary. Today's INNOVA 24th National Conference President Dr. Sarji and representatives from Bangalore section, representative to Chief Guest Sim Man, reaching us to this corner of state and nation, and what the experience of 40 years, the age of 70, reaching all the places. So getting him is also a challenge for us also. Yes, true. Yes, true, sir. And in fact, sir, okay, higher level of work and easy. We got. And another chief guest, Srinivas from Samsung, and my IEEE friend Prashant sir, and our chair Srinivas, and our IEEE section family, IEEE North section family, and all my colleagues, friends, students, volunteers, very morning. And congratulations to all of you for making this INNOVA 24 happen. So I would like to highlight something. So this has started in November 2023. So Gunnar sir approached me. We want to get here. So as a subsection, we are doing that in every year different districts. So that we are as a North, we want to reach all the districts of North. So then I said, Gunnar sir, we can have your own series of conferences. So in 2023, he proposed four titles of this conference, including INNOVA. Sir, the better wish from your student management, we should go for it. Then of course is the application committee and got approved. And eventually, as Sam said, there is a very tough job of behind the scenes what we work. Getting the reviews, getting the quality, getting it done, and meeting with the speakers is very challenging. And we know very hard to maintain the quality. There is a number of papers. So rather than 200 and 300 papers, we want to have quality papers. Once submitted to the IEEE, should be published earliest. That is as in technical activity chair, which should be promising to all the authors. So that's the brand of conference. And the next year, we may make it one of the papers. That quality paper with the tier 1, 2, 3 international papers. That's what is the as a subsection. So we are dealing with the districts from either Haveri, which includes 33 engineering colleges, IITs, IIITs, 7 universities, out of which we have 20 active student branches, 35 student chapters, which are encouraging our students to reach industry academia as well as to reach out the technologies to our engineering courses. Not only that, they are also encouraging degree colleges, BCA, BBA, and all, so that there is a part of management, there is a part of knowledge sharing between the institutes. That's one more, and we have around 1,700 members, more than 100 senior members, and we are planning from our area, not under the subsection, we should have one fellow member, which is the third fellow member of IEEE. Very challenging to get a fellow member. IEEE section has many number of fellow members, but as from the subsection, we want to have fellow members. At least one fellow member next 2 years. And with respect to our performance in the subsection, BA is we were third on its highest number of members in the BA, highest number of members. as a section, we are attending more than 250 events in a year. 250 events across the different branches and 9 international conferences, includes one of our flagship international conferences in KCON, starting in 2022 from BAE itself. And we are successfully completed third edition. We are going fourth edition in Keynote in 2025. We are also hosting the prestigious one of the conferences BACC for 2025 GIT in Adelaide. So I request all of you to participate with the papers, with your knowledge sharing, and I thank for management, organizing committee for giving me the opportunity to share my bit of promotional work in KCS. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Yeah. They say youth is the gift of nature, but age is the work of art. So we have work of art here. And sir, I would like to tell you that non-camera is a literary hub. So there's a long way for people. We are going to have a lot of contributions. Thank you, sir. I request all the dignitaries on the dais to release the INNOVA 2024 conference proceedings. Thank you, sir. Congratulations, I believe INNOVA team and all the workers who have contributed to this processing process. I believe INNOVA team. Okay. Thank you. I request Dr. Patil, Dr. Vaidya, Dr. V.G. Sangam and Dr. Giresh to honor and felicitate our distinguished guests, Mr. C.V. Mang, Mr. Srinivasan Swaminathan, Dr. Krishnan Mishra and Professor Ravi Vaswani. So we are honoring the guests in our traditional manner. So there will be a round of applause. briefings of citizens of Swamiji has been given to the dignitaries. Thank you. To bring together all what's shared today, I kindly request Dr. Yemi Patil for the presidential remarks. Kindly, sir.
First foremost, I start my namaste to Dr. for good tea. After him, this college is named as the founder of being association, and we call it because of him, Dr. Bhagwati, Lord Vashishara and Sanskrit as well as being known as collected all originals which was spread distributed in so many temples, houses, etc. So first I want to lay hands to him, and on this occasion of this IEEE INNOVA 2024, the inauguration function, we have esteemed chief guest and speaker of this occasion, Mr. Sim Veeman, who the Senior Vice President of the Singapore. We have Mr. Srinivas Senior Director of Science Research area Bangalore. We have guest of honor, Director of and Third Part of Data Science and Intelligent Systems, IIT Award. And of course, we have Chancellor of BPD University, Dr. Raj. We have Professor Ravani here, Dr. T.C. and Dr. Prashant Chair, IT Education Society, Bangalore Chapter, and Dr. Vijay Sangan, Director of Dr. P.J. College, and organizing the Vinesh Gunnar and the distinguished guests here, faculty members, and students. First of all, I thank Mr. C. Veeman, Mr. Srinivas Swaminathan, Professor Michael Sarana, Dr. Prashant Chandra, and all of you for being here at Vijaypur, which is a historic city. We have here Gold Budge, this gallery, second largest in the world, after Santa in Rome, and first largest in the world. And we have which was Black Taj. Taj was considered the basis of 50 years after. And of course, it was the birthplace of Mahatma Vishweshwara. Vishweshwara was born in Vijaypur, explain we know of it. personally and this not also being the president of the association, the university. I thank you as Minister of Large Universities that we have a campaign. We've been always we had an association yesterday. And there always no there has to be a campaign beyond Bangalore. Bangalore has prospered. Bangalore we now compete with Singapore. Healthy competition, I mean. But you know, the entire Karnataka has to be developed. That's why campaign beyond Bangalore. And I'm happy you all are here. You all are here to come to Jaipur in the northern part of the country and thank the Department of IEEE for choosing this place in Jaipur. We have Bangalore, we have Mysore, we have Bangalore, and again to the second area we are Belgaum. But we have to choose places like Jaipur in the at corner of another corner, like the Jaipur, Gada, Haveri. Where a lot of talent. We got a lot of talent. They don't have a right exposure. Once given the right exposure, they are better than students in Bangalore city or anywhere else. My mistake. She going completely. The birthplace, the family in Infosys, she again chosen Jaipur as a district for development. So we have a social responsibility. Samsung is I think the second largest center of ODI of Bangalore R&D development. Similarly, Airbus, Mercedes, everyone, Bangalore, based in Bangalore. They have IEEE development, cable centers. But at the same time, as a new policy now, I'm giving the incentive for all of you. When you have a design product developed here R&D or design development here to manufacture in Karnataka. So we want to invite you benefit Karnataka so that Karnataka will benefit. We have invite. So we want Karnataka, whenever we say about Karnataka, we say about IT capital. Of course, we are IT capital of India. No doubt. We have a Silicon Valley of India. That's not the only story. Karnataka, we have aerospace defense. We have 67% increase in contribution from Karnataka. And you can see one Mr. Adigiri. I want was not Karnataka, who was Ecus. There's Balkan. When I went to my research in UK, when I went there, they remembered when we asked they were checked about See, this being a case we have a lot of time. Once I remember Narendra from Infosys once mentioning traveling from London to Bangalore. I was coming from US to London to join him. They're in the flight. So I said, excellent talent. Very high people. Only there has to be a right exposure given to them. And somewhere they have this feeling of the language issue. The communication language. But if they take the mathematics, they take the chemistry, they take the physics, they take the this one they can treat them straight. Only thing what you is the right exposure with people like you over here and you companies like yours encourage them. No, take the different defense and what to mention what you told. When you find he said in my the students from North Karnataka. Because once they come in, once they join the company, their attention is so high. They almost remain until their like I say you say in 1998 Samsung like. The attention is so high. They won't jump. When they say companies. They don't change the company just after a thousand rupees. They prefer the company trust and the one of that like that's the quality of our students. Right. Our teaching is working very hard. We are trying to make the skill employment ready with right skill development. Recently, I think Toyota was here in the same campus. They had a big like more than 4 students from here. So I urge to give a focus to these areas. And these areas are your corporate social responsibility, your CSR. That when you take students from Northern Karnataka, backward regions, it's a CSR, corporate social responsibility. That doesn't make them without merit, of course, merit. But when you select them, at many times you go by the education skills. The communication skills they may be little lesser than they are from Bangalore or any other city. But the inside talent, the strength is much more than them. To take it from me. So, as ministers, I appeal you. What without right to pay is like chief to develop the northern campus to development of the northern Karnataka. As it is also we are now the university policy, wherein we are going the activity which has chosen about the schools of the talukas in Karnataka. We are going to have a special education policy those most districts, especially since for those to attract the companies, the investments in northern part of Karnataka. So we have here Mr. Simman. He's the senior vice president of Singapore Center. So we are really happy that you are here. He's one of us. We are grateful to you. When you mentioned student here asked you about opportunities in Singapore. Of course, today it's wide open when we go to Japan, Korea, anywhere except the Germany. Wherever they want people. Opportunities are many. Opportunities if you learn Korean and language, we have a lot of wanting people come there. They have a depth of professionals over there. Unfortunately, India, there's the elderly population. Ours is a young population. The difference is that we have average Indian population are the young population of 30 years. That is the strength of us. Not many people talk about our population, but the population is young. That's a difference. The population is diminishing, but the population is young. That's to us, and with China strategy when companies want from China to So various countries. I think we should be leading that, and I think I've personally had a discussion with Sitaram, Finance Minister, that we should catch an opportunity after one, so that we all get beneficial of that. We are number one defense. I said we are number 3. 67% of we are number one SDM. With 40% exports from Karnataka, number one in IT, we are number one machine tools. And our installed capacity is the clean energy, which is almost 3% of hydro, solar, and wind. So the questions asked by you, how do we run your the sun, how do you use? Of course, world itself is moving towards that. Today we have solar, taking solar, storage. The hydrogen is going to be the future. So clean energy is going to be the future, where every company, every industry, every household also will be having clean energy and focus world economic forum, and that the focus of America, the focus of Europe, as well as all other countries. So we have rich in minerals. We have the steel and the steel plant in Kopar is Dal in Karnataka. So there are many more things, and of course we have a talent. The historical landing must stand. The system which developed was prior to independence, and post independence immediately. When our seniors established ISRO, which were in our spacecraft on the moon at fractional cost of NASA could do. I said fractional cost of NASA. Someone voted the cost of landing on the south pole of the moon by ISRO was lesser than that Matrix movie being produced. That's our greatness of our scientists. They're so eminent. We have chair we have heavy earth heavy EML, and so on. So second year came was by professional colleges. Mysore Maharaja was part of Karnataka. But when it came to medical schools, the last 30 years, there was much colleges in Maharashtra, North India. There was only Karnataka. And the entire India used to study to pursue professional courses, medicine, engineering, pharmacy, nursing, to Karnataka. That's where the second year of talent developed colleges like us. There was IT movement, which started with Wipro. That's how we got IT capital. So that talent is plenty in Bangalore. That's why we speak about the traffic in Bangalore. The traffic in Bangalore because of only Bangalore people. As you know, half of the population from Bangalore, other half is from different parts of Karnataka. Naturally, developing city, the traffic comes over there. So that being this one. But holistic development of the region is important in Karnataka. So we have some Karnataka. Bangalore is important for us because it gives us 60% of Bangalore. But holistic development of the region, Karnataka. As Mahatma said, India flourishes, the country flourishes. With that, I really welcome Mr. Singman, Mr. Srinivasan, then Dr. Prashant Mishra,
There was money and others. You come over here, and the president of the university, and also association as industry minister. I appreciate acknowledge your UP here and participating in the northern part of Karnataka, corner of Karnataka, and I seek your support to have a balance on merit. Even do that. But don't just go on their English. The inner is much higher. If you say the communication skills, they are afraid. And Jera, you also got to pray. You have to strengthen their communication skills. Bangalore children they have communication skills, but they don't have the depth of knowledge that we have. But we have talent, strength, but communication skills to speak they are afraid. Forget about students. I want teachers also afraid, including Mr. Jera and maybe myself also. So the later wing, I thank you, and I hope such events happen more in our region, so that Jaipur we transform the years irrigation systems, try to transform Bijapur, which was a hot area. I was mentioned to Prashant that it was area during British region decided I mentioned Karnataka and Bijapur Karnataka and Jaisalmer. Those two dotted districts. People are afraid to come. When I asked to go and invite you, Bijapur, we think over. That was the status. Now Bijapur changed. Bijapur is changed. What was done. But now the industries and a total safe development of Jaipur has to happen, and that's the focus of the government. So I thank you all, and I request all of the functions, Sanam and Gerard, as mentioned, having one BCS students. That's start from beginning. When it was science students and all this, they get the exposure, so they get confidence. That should happen for me. I have a committee on that. More. Then I asked what I wanted to do. I said, don't stick to the students. Which are the Bijapur in various places. Not only for BLD, you want everyone. All the children, they are all engineering colleges. That's how it happened. So for students, right exposure, so that our children have a lot of talent next time. Also excel like many others. Thank you.
Thank you for recognizing the inner strength, hard working talent and trust of North Karnataka people. I'd like to add, actually very proud, because one of the samples of North Karnataka person is our president himself. He is India as well as overseas. Sir, we know that you will stand solid behind North Karnataka people, and I would like to take this opportunity to thank you from on behalf of all North Karnataka people, to thank you for the campaign beyond Bangalore, which is an initiative to encourage fun and inside the city, which will be fulfilling the needs of North Karnataka people. Thank you, sir. We thank our honorable president, Dr. Patil, Industry and Infrastructure Development Minister, Government of Karnataka for gracing this function and motivating us. Thank you, sir. Now, as we approach the conclusion of our inaugural ceremony, I would like to share the gratitude that gratitude is fairest was that springs from the soul. I request Dr. Patel to present vote of thanks.
Good afternoon, everyone. I take this opportunity to express my heart thanks to all the stakeholders of this event. I thank 100 every participants, radio association, Vijaypura, and Ministry Department of Law, Media and Industries, Infrastructure, Development of Karnataka and India. For your constant and encouraging support from management side, organize such an international level, we are charming your presence as in spite of your busy schedule. Thank you, sir. Yes. And Mr. Singh, many senior vice president of Singapore. He has all the way from Singapore, stating time, participating. We are very much proud and valuable contribution as a chief guest and agreed for Keynote and also granting to the student. Thank you, sir. I thank Mr. Swaminathan, Senior Director, Sam Business India, Bangalore, for your valuable time to grace the occasion as a chief guest and delivering Thank you. I extend my gratitude to Dr. P. Srinivas, his chair, IEEE Bangalore for the general and encouragement provided in the conduct this event. I thank Prashant Misra, Sir Chair, IEEE Industry Association Society, Bangalore, for your valuable contribution and participation in this. Thank you. Special thanks to Ravi Basman, IEEE Chair, for his constant support and guidance. Thank you. I thank Dr. Devan, our Chancellor, BADA, deemed to be University Vijaypura, placing this event of schedule, your motivation and guidance are the conduct success of this. Thank you. I extend my gratitude to our Director, Dr. Srinivas, for being instrumental in organizing this event and providing constant motivation and guidance. Thank you, sir. I thank our Vice Principal, Dr. P. and Dr. Veena for constant guidance and support. Thanks to all the department, boarding staff of BLDC for their constant support. I sincerely appreciate the organizing team and student volunteers, the student and branch counselor Sunanda Alur, who work tirelessly to make this event a huge success. I express my gratitude to Dr. PS for his leadership throughout the event. Thank you, sir. I thank all the participants who are the participants in this event. Thank you. Finally, I thank all who have directly and indirectly contributed to the event to make this event. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Now we will move into the second keynote address of today. I kindly request all the dignitaries on the dais to occupy the front of the dais. Audience to be seated. For second keynote address.
सैडी बा
It's my pleasure to welcome our keynote speaker for today, Mr. Swaminathan. I request sir to take over the guys. Please.
सर बंदर सर
chip. Good afternoon, guys. It's already afternoon. I'm sure all are hungry. I can see people moving on from the stadium also. I request you all sit down. I don't eat up much of your time. I will be short. I'm sure you are definitely like this topic. Before that, I really thank for me this opportunity. And they have been fantastic, wonderful posts since yesterday afternoon. I have seen this place, and we all have taken care of us. Really nice. We actually mostly sitting only in my office, managing using programming, delivery. We don't go out to again this time. This one of my first time for me, honestly. I'm honestly nervous. So with that background, here, place, just totally a paradigm shift for me, like coming from the college. Yeah, 31 hours. Coming here, it was a different experience. Back to my college days, and every professor I see, I back the same what I have my professors those days. So really triggered my what I studied before. That's fantastic. And I really thank Mr. Patil, our honorable minister, for making this event. And I promise you guys, definitely this college has a very great promise because of his stature coming to this podium, spending much time. People have really sharing kind of confidence he has on your skills. He's definitely glorifying Pujapur as he explained. It probably can be better than Bangalore from the infra point of view, because we have a lot of scope to start from here now, and he is all the initiatives to bring your temperature down city, and there it can give a start of competition, and the skills like I said is so different. You guys are going to have for sure. Any industry or any companies or anything, for what reason they come to the skills, what the city is going to offer to them, and definitely Bangalore has a positive of also. So when you have this kind of skills and whether also and drive it down initiatives, definitely can be the next Bengaluru probably providing years. I definitely have that confidence. So with that, let me take forward to my topic. Ravi giving me for this. I will try to do it within 30 minutes. I have a lot of content. Let me try. This is a kind of I can say. When I was coming, he was asking me to give it 5G. I was thinking of 5G is done in 1999, came in and already 5 years, kind of already into 6G. They're already talking about 6G, what is 6G, what should be the requirements of it, what can define 6G, all these things we are already talking. So you guys demonstrate your skills. You can definitely taking such topics to 6G. That's my interest. So I don't want to really restrict the session to 5G, that when you Google and can find out on 5G and what it is. So I want to really tell something about 6G. That's my interest. That's what I bring in this one of the first chances I am getting to in as a conference. So I want to do my best. I will try to do my best. So this is how take it. Briefly want to touch on 5G. What is it there today, future, and honestly, I'm telling you, 5G is success. In telecom, they said what G is first. Means 2G was successful. It brought in analog digital the world was a huge success. 3G was a flop. 4G brought in video, the killer application, and the smartphone, huge success. 5G, it's I will say it's a flop. Okay. Let us see why it is. So with this, 5G is coming with a promise numerology point of view also from lot of content what you offer people. I just take you guys through that. So 5G, what is 5G? Has 340 operators embraced it. 2.3 billion subscribers globally. Is the one, and it is one of the fastest grown subscription. I can say 3 years it touched 1 billion subscribers, and it is continuing to grow. And 4G beat globally by 2027. By 2030 we will have 6.6 points. That's fine. Really. Then why are you saying it's a problem? It is because why I'm saying here is the thing. What we are offering 5G is the mobile broadband. URLs and kind of information kind of you saw it very these were all the promises of 5G that they give low latency connectivity, and then man machines quite a lot, and then wireless access kind of things. But what is happening? It's being used maximum for mobile broadband. It's taken as another 4G only, giving some extra percentage of X% of extra bandwidth or whatever it is, the speed or whatever it is. So that way, it's not lived up to the expectation to offer the promises what it made when 5G was announced. Second, the graph is that the pink thing is that data consumption, what you are seeing exponentially increasing, 218% increase by 2027 from now what we are, the data consumption. Then when data is consumed, operators are not making enough revenue because or the video. That there is no killer application in 5G. That's one of the biggest drawback here. So from the switch, what we call, that is only is cloudified. Now going forward from next year onwards, the people will start looking into cloudifying the RAM software also. RAM software is the base station, what you see, the software sitting in the base stations. That's the thing. So now, why it is not actually so successful? I have told quite a few lot of points already. So the infrastructure costs. I was talking with Dr. Sangam on the way we were walking. Also, he was kind of saying 5G, the coverage kind of things. Yes, that's the problem. Infrastructure costs are too high that they are not able to install the 5G base stations everywhere in every rural points. That's where the coverage holes are there quite a lot. The coverage gaps are there, because to cover those gaps you have to have a lot of base stations or the small cells or the last mile connectivity items, whatever it is, like kind of. Then the consumer pricing, 5G phones, not too many. 4G is good enough is what people are thinking. 4G is good enough. Even when I have a smartphone, I work in this technology. I'm quite happy with 4G, honestly. 5G I'm not really so thrilled with all kind of things. That's one of the big reasons. Another thing is that this is the consumer demand. Why I need a 5G? 4G is enough. Why I need to pay those? Though the operators have started to give 5G also for the same price of 4G, still you need to kind of upgrade your device, the smartphone, from a 4G smartphone, what you have, to a 5G smartphone. Indians, we are kind of more of used to hold to a device for 3 years, 4 years kind of things. Maybe some elite people will change devices every 2 years once or kind. Otherwise, people are sticking to the same device for 4 years. That's the standard market. So I don't want to really upgrade my 4G device to a 5G device for a 5G subscription, shell out another few 5,000 or something and buy a 5G device, something like that. That's the point. Then some of the delayed applications, the AR applications are talked about for 5G itself, but it's not happening. Yeah, fine. That's the thing. Yeah. So some of the applications, what they have promised on, they are not really happening. They have not really happened in 5G. Mainly the URLLC based applications, the AR applications, kind of things, the autonomous vehicles, self-driving vehicles. These were talked about 5 years before itself that 5G will offer that kind of. They have not happened really. Then the spectrum challenges. Spectrum means what kind of challenge you may have. You don't have a continuous spectrum of frequency given for one specific operator. If you are not given a 100 megahertz of continuous band, you cannot offer a huge broadband or anything like that. Here and there, pockets of 5 megahertz per guide, 5 megahertz is not going to help too much the operators. Fine. Then now what is that? There is a lot of push. When 5G was initiated, AI was not thought about at all. Now, in any industry, do you think we can survive not talking about or not thinking about artificial intelligence? No. Even if you are a civil engineer, you are a mechanical engineer, you are bound to think from the AI point of view, what they can bring into your products. You need to definitely think about it. Otherwise, guys, I'm going to tell you in 5 years, something else is going to come and take over your skills, definitely. So 5G also, oh, okay, fine, now what we can do in 5G, how to boost it or whatever it is. So 5G is also the 3GPP is the body which is giving you the definitions for 5G and how it has to be implemented kind of. They have come up with quite a lot of AI topics from release 16 onwards. Release 16 came with some kind of data analytics and data collection point of view. Release 17 came up with some use cases. Release 18 is coming with some good end-to-end use cases. I'm not going to read out everything. I'll just give you a couple of examples. One is that probably a handover from a tower to tower when you are moving fast, the resources what the new tower has to allocate to you when you hand over your call from this tower to other tower. This can be predicted based on your movement. For example, Every day 5 p.m. you are moving from this tower to the tower while you are returning back to office, to home kind of things. The target tower can predict that, and the AI can predict that and can have those resources allocated in the target tower, which can be, so your handover can be successful, need not be a failure. Handover failure is a big important KPI in telecom industry. So that's the thing. So this is South Korea telecom, what it is saying, the gap between the vision and reality of 5G must be addressed if we are to unlock its true potential for the future. Means whatever the promised use cases have to come out in 5G, that's when we have to unlock the true potential of it. So with this I will move to the 6G. With this I can say these are probably the research topics for you in 5G. Anything to do with AI. 5G means if you want to do anything research, please don't neglect AI. Anything you add AI to it is what going to triumph, definitely in 5G. Then 6G network requirements, what is this? Oh, wow, this is amazing. This is like kind of what it says is 20 Gbps is what promised for 5G, whereas in 6G we are talking about 1000 Gbps. The latency is 110 times, like kind of 0.1 microsecond kind of latency. 1 terabits per second kind of speed. This is all what we are talking in 6G new requirements, kind of how we can achieve this, how we can achieve this, how what we are sitting at is like kind of 5G in Korea kind of places. They say that they are getting maximum is 800 Mbps. That's what they get. So that's what the reality, the practicality is. Though this chart says 20 Gbps is what 5G, then 5G advanced is 100 Gbps. The real practicality is 800 Mbps. From this now, how you are going to scale up to that 1 Tbps or 0.1 microsecond kind of latency kind of things. Let's see some of the things. And then another thing is the number of devices, what is going to be in the world. For 8.7 billion people, there is going to be 500 billion devices, means 59x of world population. For one person, there will be 59 devices. It's not that I am going to have 59 devices, it's not that. My car will have 5 devices, the factories will have some 10,000 devices, small factories will have 1,000 devices, kind of that way. The number of devices that are going to get connected for 5G is humongous. And the kind of parameters what can define for them is totally outside like what human can think also. Human can hear only 20 to 20,000 kilohertz, right? But this devices doesn't have any limitation. Means these devices can work for any parameter. That's how it is. They can process at any level, any speed. This is what the requirements for 6G. So how do we make 6G successful? 5G, this is what the story. 4G became a super hit because of the video killer app. Just one video app could make people happy, right? Smartphone could make people happy. Now 6G, how we can make it successful? Let us see some of the use cases what it is. The holographic communications means a real 3D person coming and standing in front of me, like kind of and interacting with me. That's holographic. Like smart cities being talked about for decades. The real practicality of smart cities yet to happen. That has to happen. We have to take care of that smart cities also. When I say 59x kind of number of devices per person, the smart cities are also there. Every street, every house, everything is surveillance or kind connected. Every vehicle, every stop, they are all connected kind of things. Then extended reality, anything AR, VR kind of things. Then autonomous systems, the driving vehicles or something. We promised in 5G, 6G, let it happen kind of things. Then what the core technologies which are going to bring in this? Terahertz. Gigahertz could not bring in the wonder for 5G because not able to get to a continuous spectrums. Terahertz is the hope. We have to really unlock the terahertz potential for the high-speed experience. Then the AI networks. Anything that's not done with AI, 6G is not going to work for sure. Then the edge computing. The edge computing is you compute the services or the use cases closest to your device, closest to your mobile or any device that can happen. That's when you can achieve the latency what 6G is talking about. Scalable system. Scalable system means it's for efficiency and optimization. Like you cannot, for 800 billion devices or what did I talk, how much, what kind of processing you need in the back end. All those systems, all this so much systems, you cannot have one shot. So half the globe you can't fill it with servers and kind of things. So you need to have scalable systems. We can scale up and scale down. Even if you switch on or those so many systems also, it's going to consume so much power and totally outside or against your environment. So you have to have scalability as one of the key factors. Then connecting to maximum massive IoT devices, these kind of things, the human-machine collaboration kind of things. Then connectivity expansion, rural connectivity expansion, how it can happen. 5G, we couldn't. 4G also kind of still some package holes are there. How it is like. So think about like some kind of concept is coming in, reconfigurable intelligent surfaces, means kind of some mirror kind of things to reflect light in this room. If there is only a light here in this corner, how I can reflect in this entire auditorium. Keep one mirror there, one mirror there, one mirror there, one mirror there, kind of, then you can light on the entire auditorium. Like that, they are thinking about for the radio frequency also, you can reflect it. The big problem about gigahertz, 5G could not penetrate into buildings. So inside your house, you are not getting a good coverage. Yeah, not good coverage, bad phone. It's not bad phone, it's the gigahertz which is the culprit, which is doing that. It's not able to penetrate through the buildings. It's not able to give you that powerful signal inside the house. Now with this concept, reconfigurable intelligent surfaces, they are thinking of like you can penetrate into buildings these days with those kind of mirror kind of surfaces. That's how probably. Then satellite network utilization. Think about Starlink, what Elon Musk talked about, and kind of brought a big disruption in the market. I'll cover that. I have a couple of slides for that. You should embrace the satellite network also if you want to cover, right? Recently when I went to Rameshwaram, the tip of the Dhanushkoti, tip of India, no signal, no signal. People say that you sit for some time, you will catch the Sri Lanka network signal. It was funny, it is, yes it is, but I could not get a signal. Now, the fisherman goes into 5 kilometers into the ocean, what signal he has? What kind of safety or what kind of communication he can do, no, right? So we have to embrace satellite communications also. Then think about some advanced base station technologies. Maybe we need to. See, some of the things of, if you are going to ask me a lot of questions, I may not have answers at all, because what I'm talking is all research topics for future, research topics what you guys all can focus on, which can make 6G successful. Fine, yeah. Then user-centric networks is kind of for Srinivasan. For me, it has to define a specific service. I'm in a need of some specific. I'm a typical kind of user, so I will need a different kind of plan or something like that. So the network has to think like that. Not like how that same 299 rupees plan, 2 GB data like that for 1 billion people or anything like that also. For per person based what he needs, what qualities of service he needs, that kind of level of you need to do. AI only can do that actually. Personal service, this is similar thing, the same concept what I am talking, customized network solutions, real-time data insights. If I can catch my real-time data, what I am doing with my phone, what it is, then it can offer that kind of services. Then what are the big mega trends of 6G? As per SK Telecom, there are three defining items which are going to be in for 6G. One is the AI integration. This can do the problem solving. It can do the enhanced connectivity, the innovation, acceleration, anything with the Gen AI. You can innovate quite faster and it can come out with good results kind of things. And then the data management. With the AI integration is one of the key going to be success. Then the quantum security, the current security, what are the hash algorithms you have, the 256 hash. The current computers takes 4 years or 14 years to crack that, but the quantum computers will crack this in 4 seconds. So you need to have a security which even the quantum computers cannot break. So if you want to do that, you have to use quantum computers to bring that level of security. That's what it is. Energy efficiency. This is one of the key. Everybody is talking about that. You have to save earth, save current, save power. It has to be like that. So you have to see how the base station, every base station consumes a lot of energy, You have to save that. That's one of the another key. Then AI is one thing, then the another thing is the compute platforms. What kind of compute you have to do? The current kind of computation, what you do is not at all enough. It could give only 800 Mbps even for 5G. Where it is going to give 1 Tbps or the 0.1 microsecond latency. Cloud native architecture, some things like serverless architectures, this thing, the if this then that kind of concepts, such kind of concepts should come in. Then high performance computing, anything like kind of what you can say, the quantum processor, the photonic computing, the neurophonic chips, they use light as the communication thing. Then the edge computing devices, what I talked about. Then the quantum computing impact, the secure communication, the network challenges, enhanced AI models, the edge and fog computing. The more you do at the edge and the closest to your device, the computation, then you can give the service back to the phone very quickly. That's what the edge and fog computing are talking about. And there is something called split computing also. Split, the computing can be done across several servers, and your phone also can be one of the big computing object. Then if not one edge, have multiple edges, make them coordinate with each other to give the service back to the user. Then green computing focus, once again the same thing I'm talking about, the eco-friendly and everything. One of the big thing green computing is, see, any one base station if you take, they take hell lot of energy, hell lot of power they consume. But what they are actually utilizing really for the user need is 40% of it only. Because they don't know when a user connects, when a user don't connect, how many users connects at this time, how many users connect after 6 p.m., how many are something like that. So they are switched on for the same amount of things, hours and computation the entire day. AI can come into picture in this kind of. So when given at the micro sleeps level, it can do computation and can make the computer sleep. So it can do a lot of things. Role of AI in 6G, like I said, the AI, without AI we cannot do anything in 6G. It's not going to be possible at all. So what AI can do in 6G? Network design, the entire topology can be designed by the AI. Mainly the predictive maintenance, when the system is going to go down, that also it can say how to resolve the load balancing of the resources, something back, I told something like that. Then automated reporting, I don't need any manual effort for generating reports and giving you which is doing well and which are the sleeping slaves or not, kind of things. It can predict also and can tell you. Device management, the AI can play a big role in device management because 800 billion devices you are not going to sit and manage by human. It's not definitely possible. So AI has to come in. Gentlemen, one big thing in this PPT, 50% of it I generated using AI actually. I gave the key points configuring system. When the base stations are not enough, you install suddenly a new base station. Now it takes months for a installation person to bring up that base station. 1.5 months. The base station has to be configured, comes up, and is it working fine or not? To confirm that, it takes 6 to 9 weeks for currently an installation person. It all can happen within a touch of a button, a plug and play kind of concept. Self-healing system. Same energy efficiency, 6G is expected to bring 30% reduction of energy, 50% optimization of the system where it is currently used, the energy. Latency reduction, 0.1 microsecond, we can achieve only through AI, the topology, the graph, the shortest route. This all can be predicted only by AI. Then connectivity enhancement, smart city, interference management, IoT ecosystem support, all these things can be done only through AI. That's what I'm saying. Topology management, that's what I told you. It cannot be static anymore. It's static now. The routing path, what it takes from an end-to-end service, the routing path, what it takes, it cannot be static anymore. To achieve the latency of 6G kind of things, it has to define, predict the shortest path for every service, and every microsecond, every millisecond, it has to keep doing that prediction. Native frameworks, it cannot be you saw in 5G, AI came in and we are trying to suffix it to the 5G which is there, but now for 6G, it has to be within the AI native generation. 6G is that's what we say. The immersive applications, these things all can be driven only through AI. The holographic, the XR, VR, AR kind of things, multisensory, and everything. This all can be done only through AI. Digital twins, something like now I install a network, I have to do a drive test if it is working fine or not. Now I have a simulation in my lab where I can completely simulate the entire network and verify it and give this to the thing, and boom, 6G is up, something like that. It's not only for this network, it can be extended to any technology. Healthcare also, a patient can be replicated, and kind of AI can predict and tell you like how much, what kind of treatment you can give and what can be the result of it. AI can predict that and they can give it to you kind of things. It can be extended to anything. Then tactile, the haptic feedback, the touch and feel kind of things, threat detection for security kind of things, spectrum sharing, the 2G, 4G, 5G all share the same spectrum at some point of time. AI can give you a better thing. Starlink, this is the one thing what I was trying to say. Now without a device changed, it is able to give the service, the Starlink. This can now connect everywhere, like kind of every part of the globe can be connected. This is what the Starlink is achieving without changing any software or anything, or without buying a new device. It's able to give that. That's what I'm trying to say, guys. That's what the focus areas. I'm listing down the same thing, same topics again. Terahertz, AI networks, RIS, all these things are kind of like areas. I'm kind of doing what I've told all this, right? This is all what the research areas that you can focus on for your leftover 5G and the big 6G also. Thank you really so much.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for taking us into this unknown zone, at least for us. And it is quite surprising, sir, looking at 6G, 1 terabytes and the speed less than 1 millisecond, and all that green computing. Sir, I don't know from where this world is coming up, but definitely we can state that AI right now, no one can stop the progress of AI. It will be inevitably the center force in our future. But with due respect and with your permission, I would like to state one thing, that AI makes the impossible possible, but we need to remember that AI doesn't think for us, it helps us to think better. Thank you, sir. Thank you for enlightening us regarding AI technology. Next, we will be proceeding to the online plenary talk by Professor S.R. Mahadev Prasanna, Director, IIIT Dharwad. I request Professor Shilpa Patil to welcome and introduce Professor S.R. Mahadev Prasanna, Director, IIIT Dharwad.
Respected dignitaries of the dais, dear participants, faculty, staff, and my dear students, a very pleasant good afternoon to you all. We are indeed honored to have the virtual presence of our today's guest of honor, Professor S.R. Mahadev Prasanna.
Sorry to interrupt. Kind request to all the students to stay back for the session. After the session, there is lunch arrangement for all.
Okay. So it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce our today's guest of honor, Professor S.R. Mahadev Prasanna. Sir is currently working as director in IIIT Dharwad, Karnataka. Sir basically hails from Koratagiri Taluk, Tumkur district, Karnataka. He has pursued his PhD from the Department of Computer Science and Engineering, IIT Madras in the year 2004, M.Tech from NIT Surathkal in the year 1997, and his Bachelor of Engineering from Sri Siddhartha Institute of Technology, Tumkuru. Having a vast academic experience, Sir formerly worked as professor in the Department of Electrical and Electronics Engineering, IIT Guwahati. Then as a professor in the Department of Electronics and Electrical Communication Engineering in IIT Dharwad. He is also having extensive administrative and industry interaction experience. Currently, Sir is working as Dean in Faculty Welfare, Research and Development, IIT Dharwad. He is serving as a consultant for many public sector undertakings and private limited companies. He is also the co-founder of DFM Info Analytics Private Limited and also the co-founder of Speechware Net Private Limited. Sir is having a broad research interest in the areas of speech and handwriting processing, application of signal processing and pattern recognition, application of AI, machine learning and deep learning. Under the guidance of Sir, 26 research scholars have been fruitfully awarded their PhD and currently 7 scholars are pursuing. Sir has published numerous journal articles and 197 conference papers in various international and national conferences. Coming to his achievements, Sir is honored for numerous sponsored projects of about rupees 15 crores, with the highest of rupees 2 crore 24 lakhs for the project Standalone Speech-to-Speech Translator funded by Science and Engineering Research Board for the year 2023-26. The second highest being of rupees 2 crore 3 lakhs for the project Digital Preservation Analysis and Technology Development of the Languages of the Northeast funded by Deggendorf Institute of Technology, Germany. Sir has also organized numerous conferences, workshops and short-time courses. With this brief introduction, I wholeheartedly welcome Professor S.R. Mahadev Prasanna Sir to grace the occasion and deliver plenary talk on innovation and novelty in the era of technology disruption. Now, ladies and gentlemen, let's give a big round of applause for welcoming Professor S.R. Mahadev Prasanna. Welcome you, sir. Thank you.
Thank you very much, madam. Is my screen visible? I have shared my presentation.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir, it's visible.
Yeah, thank you very much. So let me know whether it has gone to full screen.
Yes, sir.
How much time I have? 15 minutes? 30 minutes?
Yes, sir. 30 minutes.
Okay, fixed. So, good afternoon, everybody. Thank you for this opportunity. Sorry, I was unable to make it to the institute. See, when I saw the theme of the conference, innovation and knowledge, novelty in engineering and technology, it's a very interesting title that is chosen for the conference. Then I thought I'll talk something which is currently the whole globe is debating on how the technology trends are moving. So that is where I was, I was thinking about talking something about my discussions with others from industry and academia, especially in this era of technology disruption. How do we carry out innovation and novelty? So that is the theme I have chosen. I would like to emphasize on, first tell about disruption, technology disruption, and then in that, how industries are handling this technology disruption, how academia should gear up for that. Around this only, I will be sharing few points. Before beginning my presentation, I would like to thank my mentor Manoj Omkarji, who is an organization development consultant, master coach and trainer, with whom I have extensive mentoring from an organization development point of view. And also I bring your attention to these two important books written by Salim Ismail et al. First book came in what is called Exponential Organizations, which came in 2013, and the second book came from the same set of authors last year, what is called Exponential Organization 2.0. Essentially, these authors have seen with the technology disruptions that are happening in the turn of this century, 21st century, how it is disrupting the whole world, both first in industry, then in academia. And the organizations which we were thinking of maintaining status quo or growing in a linear fashion, they will have very difficult, they will face a lot of difficulty in sustaining itself, or they will get out of the universe. So that is where what is the need of the hour is building an exponential organization. So in that regard, these two books are very interesting. Maybe institution should get some copies to the library. The points which I will be focusing will be on the following themes, sub-themes. One is, I'll briefly talk about disruption, and I'll talk about the disruptions that are happening in industry. I'll talk about what is in store for academia, which I call it as disruption in academia. And then in this scenario, how do we bring innovation and novelty? And then I'll summarize my talk. When you discuss or look around, both in industry and academia, disruption has become the new norm in the last decade or so. I think that was the motivation for writing that book on exponential organization by Salim et al. Of course, we use this word disruption in a layman term also. Essentially, there was a power disruption, or there was a Wi-Fi disruption, and so on. So when that is the dictionary literal meaning of the word disruption, but what I am aiming in this talk is the disruption means the technology disruption I am talking about. Is everything okay? Yeah. Am I audible?
Yes.
Excuse me? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. So when I'm telling about disruption, I'm talking about technology disruption. So when I say this technology disruption, an innovation comes that radically changes the whole world and sets new standards. Okay, so that is what I am talking about, the disruption. Of course, many things have happened, but the pace at which the disruptions are happening, it has kept both industry and academia in tenterhooks. For example, Steve Jobs mentioned, you have to disrupt yourself or others will do it for you. So there is no industry which can maintain its status and quo, which gone long back. So always continuously they should be looking for the disruptions happening in the external world, and more than that, they themselves should imagine what is the disruption, next disruption they have to create in their product line to stay competitive in the world. So that is what is the meaning of Steve Jobs. You have to disrupt yourself or others will do it for you. For example, he boldly announced the iPhone. Now you can see till it stays to be the top world leader in the consumer electronics. Okay. So when we see this industrial academia, for example, if I take the olden days industries, it is in terms of whoever has the wealth can create an industry and he can create a big physical infrastructure, employ a lot of people, and that is how the industry survives and sustains and go forward. Same thing applies to academia also. Somebody sets up an education university and a big campus is built, buildings are built, faculty are hired, and so that is how an establishment of a university is thought about. But in this era of technology disruption, none of these will be sufficient. What it says is, it is the ideas, that new ideas that are being generated by Gen Z, and converting these ideas into technology, and from those prototype technology, do a product innovation. If you have this line, three sequence, you don't require to be a wealthy man, you don't require to be coming from a wealthy family, you are going to disrupt the world. And that is where the innovation and novelty is required. Just for example, a starter can disrupt a very big industry. Okay, I will just give an example in the next slide. We are currently, last decade or so, we are in such an era, okay, where every day you see a new technology disruption. Every day, I mean, it's very fast, new technologies are coming out. In such an era, what is meant by innovation and novelty? Okay, so that is the question which is looming in my mind. That's what I want to bring it to your attention, who are all attending this conference. Just a few examples. When Steve Jobs in 2007 announced the iPhone, it changed the whole consumer electronics industry. I think all of us are witness to that. Everyone would like to dream to have an iPhone with us. Okay, how the disruption he thought about for the Apple products, and that is the disruption that he created for the consumer electronics industry. And I told a starter can dislodge a big company. For example, Waze, which is a startup from Israel, dislodged the big giant in the mobile industry, Nokia. It has gone out of the scene because Nokia was synonymous to the mobile phones that we had, especially in India, now nowhere to be seen. What happened? This is not by another competitive big industry came and gave a disruption for that. A simple startup called Waze from Israel, when it was acquired by Google, it was only hardly about 100 members were there. So such a small company can dislodge a big giant like that, and that is what I am talking about, technology disruption. I think all of us are witness to this. Uber does not have its own fleet of vehicles, but has disrupted the whole taxi industry. Airbnb does not have its own hotels, but valued more than any premier brand of best hotels. So this is what we are seeing in the last decade or so for industrial sector. So for these 3-4 examples, I want to bring it to your purview, especially the students who are there, that you should appreciate that the new norm, what is the new norm for innovation and novelty? So, that is how, suppose I am a student in BLE and I am setting up a startup here, whether I will be able to do, I am not in Bangalore. So those things doesn't matter, okay? So it is the ideas and technology, using the technology, bringing that idea into reality, and then do a product innovation. So then you can win the world. So that is where your innovation and novelty should go. For example, when this technology disruption was not there, we used to give more value or more rewards to what we call experts. And what we see now, the disruptions that are happening due to geeks, not the experts. So in this disruption era, the most of the disruptions are not done by experts. It is done by the geeks, means the tech-savvy hobbies. Of course. So domain experts, naturally, their in-depth knowledge. They can always answer difficult questions, and also they can foresee what are the key challenges that are lying ahead for the next decade or so. Whereas geeks, they do not have any domain expertise. They take risks, they mine data and find solution for any challenges that are posed. Absolutely, they have no knowledge about the field. They are not domain expert. Even they are not even domain novice, but they can build technologies which are there. If that is the case, then what is the value for experts we are talking about, and how do take the disruptions that are being done by the geeks? So, in that scenario, suppose a geeks means a set of friends, get together and started as a hobby, and it becomes a big disruption in the technology space. Then, in such a scenario, what is the new norm you are talking about in terms of innovation and novelty? For example, I write a research article, publish it in a conference, and which is a Delta exchange, and that I claim it as an innovation and novelty. So that is what we all need to question. The way forward, which I personally think is, there is a coexisting space where domain experts and geeks together can co-create new knowledge. That is the order of the day that is talking about. With these few examples, now I will move on to the technology disruptions that are happening in academia. Many of my colleagues in BLD and who are attending this conference will be witness to this. The new disciplines like artificial intelligence, machine learning, data science, they are disrupting all branches of engineering. I think all of you should agree for this. And everyone wants to take admission to these new disciplines. Traditional engineering branches are suffering, and we don't see no point of return in that case. So, for this situation where our traditional engineering branches, core engineering branches like mechanical engineering, electrical engineering, civil engineering, which are nation building branches, which are suffering admissions, where people are all moving towards artificial intelligence and data science, whom we should point fingers now. And as faculty, we are safe to not to agree for contributing to such a thing that is happening. And with the same trend when you are seeing, can you pause for a while, extrapolate what may happen in the next decade for all our academia? What will be the new norm for innovation and novelty in academia? That's what I just wanted to mention. Industry to some extent is aware of, even though it wants to avoid that, but it is and somehow wants to maintain status and quo, but still it is ready for disruption. But academia, especially in Indian academia, we are neglecting the disruption that is happening in the academic space. So that is what I personally believe when we attend these conferences should think about how to bring innovation and novelty in academia. I always think about how to handle this disruption in academia. Especially Indian academia, with more than about 3 decades of experience in the Indian academia, I want to state that Indian academia, we refuse to change, and we are not interested in adopting the latest trends at the pace that is required. Okay? At the pace that is required. I'm not saying that no, we're not adopting. Suppose somebody told artificial intelligence, data science is a new discipline of the world, industry is looking, yes, we start a branch in that and give the education. but that adoption pace is also very slow compared to what is expected in the external world. Looks like academia, we are all, when I'm saying this, I'm saying to myself, along with all my colleagues there, academia, we are in a very comfort zone. That comfort zone is such a way that it is a global minima we call in deep learning, which has no point of return. Okay? That is where I always think how innovation and novelty can happen in academia. Starting a new branch, which everybody says it's a great branch and specialization, I'm starting it. That we are doing for the last 4-5 decades in engineering education. But that is really the innovation and novelty. Or writing some articles for some small delta improvement research we do, that is innovation and novelty. That all colleagues, we have to think together. And wherever we are, I always remember this Steve Jobs quote that you have to disrupt yourself or others will do it for you. And this is all the more relevant for an academia now. Okay? I think all of us agree, graduates are not employable, faculty are not innovative, and system is not vibrant. This is generally the statement that we get when we go and discuss with the colleagues from the larger world. And I also hear from company colleagues in industry that now the disruptions is happening so fast that they need skilled manpower to work on the different projects. They are moving away from looking for graduates from specific college rather than they're looking for people who have skill set. If you have a skill set, I don't care whether you are coming from a specific college or not, including premier institute. So that is how the industry companies are looking in future. Because disruption is so fast, they can't wait for somebody to join us, get training, give train him for 6 months, 1 year, and then put him on the job. Because by the time they put it on the job, the technology disruption is so big that they have to move on to a new dimension. Okay, so that is where how academia can play a role to become a vibrant system. What my guess that may happen in academia in the next 1 decade, we may have an iPhone equivalent that may change the education industry. Someone in some corner of the world sets such a disruptive standards for education industry. I call it now, I move out of the word education as a philosophy, I call it as an education industry. Somebody somewhere will set a standard which is such a disruption that is very difficult to catch up. For example, a waste-like startup which disrupted Nokia from some corner in the world, you can have a startup like that which may dislodge a big academic institute. That is the situation. Because when companies are looking towards only skill set, they don't require a degree holder from a big engineering college, what we claim to be nowadays. And the Uber model will become a new norm for learning and employment. I don't want to invest 4 years in a degree program. I want to learn a new skill set. I pay for that and learn it and get a job and move on. Even employers, they want to take staff on demand. They don't want to, hire somebody for 30 years. They can't afford. So that is how this Uber model can come as a new norm for learning and employment. And this Airbnb model may be the largest educational institution in the next decade. I'm telling that model that we can adopt in the world without having its own campus. Okay? So this is how, at least many places people started thinking as a new norm for academia. That is where my humble request to all my colleagues, we need to appreciate why innovation and novelty is needed in academia. And that is where we should always introspect and see how do I make my academic system relevant for the next generation, next decade. Okay? For example, is there any way for innovation and novelty in academia? what I see is there are broadly three pillars. One is the institute, second one is the faculty, and third one is the students. As an institute builders, we need to create systems which can work in an autopilot mode. We need to bring culture which is prevalent in that institute, which is uniquely identified for that institute, and bring values into the system. So then that institute can have a stability and will be put onto the growth path. And faculty, I call faculty as lead learners. Even though we use this statement now, faculty are lifelong students or something, but it seldom happens in practice. But now in the era of disruption, if you are not a lifelong learner, which I call it as a lead learner means it is not just I'm learning a subject for going and teaching in a class or getting my PhD. I'm talking about like a new student who is willing to enroll for a higher degree to enhance the knowledge. In the same way, every day a faculty should be a lead learner, looking for what is the disruption happening in my field or in the whole technology space. Then how do I learn that new knowledge? How do I incorporate into my learning and then go and teach to my students? That is where the faculty have to take the driver's seat as lead learners. And the students, I call them, of course, it's a well-known name, Gen Z, next generation, this millennium students. See, what we require is there is a partnership required between the faculty and students, where I take students as the co-creators of knowledge, and they should always work together as a team with the faculty in creating new knowledge. For example, a new disruption is coming. I may be old enough, or I may not be very eager in doing a programming or doing searching and collecting the information, all those things. My young students are very vibrant. They will bring all that knowledge onto my table. We will sit together and distill it and make a good knowledge house. Okay? And that is where I also transfer my experience to my students, to working together. That is where, instead of that approach where we're taking, students should listen what I say, those days have gone. Because so much wealth of knowledge is available in the public domain, free of cost, from the best universities across the world. Then why do we expect a student should come and sit in our classroom and listen to what we say for 1 hour? Unless there is a value addition for the student, I think nobody will come to our class. That is the new norm that is happening. Everywhere we say no, student don't attend classes. Mainly because you have to create interest in what you are doing. So that is where students, maybe you may have better knowledge in terms of, because you have many years of experience, but that itself will not be. So students will be geeks, you are the expert. Both of you join hands together to create the knowledge, and otherwise students also will be unemployed for life. So this is the situation, because the amount of knowledge that they are going to gain as a part of, apart from the core subjects, what are the other subjects which we are going to teach? By the time they come out of the degree program, many of them have become obsolete. So that is the way disruptions are happening. So that is where I just wanted to say that the institute, faculty and students, all of them, they form the cornerstones for bringing innovation and novelty in the academia, which is the need of the hour, where together we should innovate and bring novelty, and which will, in the end, will create a vibrant academic ecosystem where students will have a fun and joy of learning. So that is what just I wanted to give the message. Just I would like to say that I request all of you, my students and my colleagues who are attending, our team from industries who are coming, we should appreciate the significance of disruption that is happening in the world. Especially the disruption is like a tsunami for Indian academia. Because I have seen the Western universities, they are better off in adopting the disruptions, but our own legacy of education is very different. So that is why, we are not foreseeing the tsunami for Indian academia. So that is where, as thinkers and leaders in the academic space, we have to worry. I just briefly gave some examples of disruption in industry and disruption in academia. And we don't have to be, we have to take cognizance of this disruption that is happening. We don't have to be saying that, no, if that is the case, then what will happen for next? There is nothing there. Whenever there is a disruption, it always paves way for innovation and novelty in academia. I hope many of your other expert speakers and some of the articles that you are going to present in this conference will be useful in that direction. I think, thank you very much. I'm stopping here. If you have any questions, I'll be very happy to take it. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, Professor Mahadeva Prasanna, for your insightful and inspiring talk on innovation and novelty in the era of technology disruption. Your detailed exploration of technology disruption and novelty has provided us with a deeper understanding and a fresh perspective on unique tangent of idea and its impact on product innovation. One of the key points that stood out was cornering of traditional engineering courses. This insight is not only thought-provoking but also highly relevant to understanding the beginnings of gaps in academia. Yes, sir, we have to adopt new courses but in touch with the traditional branches. Thank you, sir. On behalf of IEEE INNOVA management and the organizing team, we extend our heartfelt gratitude for taking the time for sharing your expertise and inspiring us with your vision. Let's all give Professor Mahadeva Prasanna a big round of applause for their outstanding session. Thank you once again for being with us today and enriching this conference with your knowledge. Now we'll be open the floor for the question from the audience. Could anybody please? Yes, sir. You can, please.
Sir, good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
I'm Professor V.G. Sangam, the President Director of BLD CET. Thank you very much for joining this particular conference and enlightening us in the new, the discipline area in the academics. My one question, because you are one of the senior most, worked in a very premier institute and have vast experience. Like you told these kind of things to be enlightened in the particular conference. Apart from that, out of the box, I am asking question. Is there any solution in your mind so that we can implement well in advance before some tsunami comes?
Yeah. Thank you, sir. Thank you. That's a very important question, sir. Because what is happening is, it is very difficult to predict in the next few years how the course of action will happen. At least there are extreme views that now, about 2 decades back, people were thinking having a big campus, big infrastructure. That is how a university, how great that university is measured. Now people started feeling that having a big campus and big infrastructure is becoming a white elephant from the return of investment that is happening. And people predict that after 2-3 decades, these will become dinosaurs. Means such campuses will not exist. Of course, this is a very extreme statement. We have to wait and watch. But at least what is happening now, sir? Even premier institutes have problems in the placement, mainly because they stopped giving that preference to premier institute because they can't afford them, give them an appointment and afford. So that is where what is very much essential, cutting the story short. So there is a lot of deliberations are required. So just to at the first level, all of us, means when I'm saying in an education system, suppose the board is there, managing institute administration is there, faculty are there, students are there. The first principle is the realization is required that, for example, for me, placement of my student is the prime importance, even though I am bringing an institute, because my students join this institute, because one of the major factors is the placement. Then how do I channelize my whole academic curriculum? Means it is not just teach some courses for placement, but really co-create the curriculum, discussing with the industry team. What is that industry? What is the current trend in industry? And then whether this skill set, what we are going to train them, will be relevant by the time they complete. For example, we have a course what is called Industry Insights Program. It is not internship program, but it's called Industry Insights Program, where students will go to a specific industry sector, they discuss with the industry team leaders, get to know about what is the required skill set there, what subjects they have to learn, and what is expected after 2 years by the time they graduate. They come back and give us a white paper to the institute. Using that, they demand us to create new courses which are relevant in that direction. Of course, that is easy to implement in a premier institute like ours because of our own Senate and board to approve. But this is where, essentially, unless we have a very hand-in-glove relationship with industry and together work to train our knowledge house, that is the students, that may be a first step to begin with. Afterwards, the whole culture has to change. I think over time it will take this step.
Thank you, sir. Thank you so much for sparing your valuable time with us. Thank you so much. Thank you once again. Thank you one and all.
Thank you all. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you everyone for patiently listening to the sessions. The lunch has been arranged. After the lunch, the presentations of the participants will be carried out in the allotted tracks. Thank you so much. Have a wonderful day.